Welcome to the all-new Marvelicious Toys podcast, hosted by the astonishing Arnie, the mighty Marjorie, and Captain Justin.
Nah, just Justin.
Join us at MarveliciousToys.com to find thousands of pictures of the items reviewed, find links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages, and much more.
Hello and welcome to Marvelicious Toys, Volume 2, Episode 3. This is Marjorie.
I am Spider-Man. Wait, no, I've been playing the game too much. This is Arnie.
And this is Justin. I was going to ask, are we tearing you away from playing Spider-Man to do this?
Yes, you are. You are tearing him away. He is playing it like literally every waking moment.
It's fun! I need to beat the game in order to do a full review. But I promise, the plan is for listeners who are joining us and haven't joined us the past couple, the routine we're getting into is once a month, Justin, Marjorie, and I are going to do a full 60 to 90-minute show like we are tonight. But then each week we're going to have supplemental videos. And I plan on really taking you guys deep into the Gamerverse with me because I just can't believe somebody messed up my slide order. I just have had so much fun playing this game, and I am just realizing how well designed it is in that I am grinding right now, leveling up and gathering backpacks and things. I didn't even realize I was grinding. That's how much fun it was. It was just incredible to go around the fake New York City.
But they did a really good job on the New York City, making not exactly like the same buildings and everything, but facsimiles of the buildings. So you had that New York feel, and it really did feel like you're in the caverns of buildings, like you were in New York. And they've got landmarks, and the geography is correct because you were saying, oh, look, hey, I'm down at Washington Square. And we looked around like, yep, there's the Arch. There's this. We know this is over there. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's where you were, Washington Square. And then Union Square, you're up there. And they had all the stuff like where they have the market and the guys playing chess and Forbidden Planets over there. So they did a fantastic job on the scenery, I thought.
They did. It wasn't perfect because I was walking around Times Square. We're like, okay, I'm on 5th. Okay, I'm on 7th. Wait, where's 6th? Where is 6th?
Well, they got to shrink it a little bit to fit everything in there, but it sounds really cool. And I have to admit, not having a PlayStation 4, all the screenshots I've seen, all the video caps I've seen online over the last week or two has really got me considering getting one just for this game.
Honestly, I think it's worth it. It is far more worth it than when I bought an Xbox One just to play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite with you.
That's not saying a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, it's really got me thinking about it. It might just, I'll have to wait till Christmas or something, but yeah, it looks so cool. And I like being able to mod out your different costumes and stuff like that. That's something that always gets to me. So it sounds like my type of game.
Well, speaking of the different costumes, I just got an email today. We're going to be talking a little bit more about conventions in just a moment, but I actually got on Adi Granov's commission list for New York Comic Con, and I'm going to have him do the Spider-Man Velocity suit he designed for the game.
Wow, that's pretty sweet. Little jealous, gotta say.
Well, all right, I'm going to take a moment to brag, and you're going to really be jealous, because at San Diego, I also got on the list. He picks the characters he wants to draw, and they tell me I pick fun characters, because they go through the list of characters they have, and it's pretty girl, pretty girl, pretty girl, Howard the Duck. So I kind of get a little lucky. Well, when it came time for San Diego, it was pretty girl, pretty girl, pretty girl. Oh, Arnie wants a MODOK.
Marjorie may have some influence in that. And I want to say MODOK is ripe for a comeback and a big explosion in popularity. And I really hope that the guys at Hasbro are listening to this show and are looking at this amazing MODOK that Arnie's going to be showing off later.
I'm showing it now. So what do you think, Justin? That he didn't get it done in time for San Diego. And what they told me is anytime a commission runs long, he tries to do just a little bit extra to make it up. I'm floored.
Yeah, I mean, it's yet alone piece of art here.
You're cutting out. Start that over.
Dang. The back is all above and beyond the main focus here. This is really for commission.
Told me to watch.
All right, try it one more time.
One more time. Am I still cutting out?
No, you're good now.
All right. So for the third time, I'm just saying that Audie has done a great job with the background here. And to top it off, MODOK looks incredible up front.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe. Honestly, I watched him doing this on Instagram, and I'm not bragging or kissing ass when I say I can't think I've ever seen a better done MODOK.
No, he's tremendous. I love it. The colors are perfect. The chair. Audie does such amazing work anyway.
All this MODOK talk has me remembering a picture I saw earlier in the week, and I can't even remember where now, but if somebody drew the inside of what MODOK would look like. So his big head and then tiny arms and the skeleton sitting there. It was pretty funny trying to do it anatomically, but
at least they didn't do. Well, I thought you were going to say like the digestive tract or something. Like, this is how a MODOK would function. I'm like, I don't want to know that.
No, it's just more of like a cross section of like, how is this a person inside of this?
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about cons in a little bit, but first we've got actually store report. Christmas is coming. Stores are starting to get stuff.
Walgreens already has their Christmas aisle out with the toys, like, you know, the $9.99, $15.99 toys, where you can find actually some really cool stuff sometimes.
$9.99? Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
Yeah, Walgreens is hitting it up and stuff, but before all of that, Target is starting to clearance out stuff, maybe to make new room for new stuff. I mean, I was at Target just this afternoon, and I picked up a cap and crossbones pack that was at 50% off already. So, you know, for $24, I was happy to snag that pack as an opener. They also had the Iron Man from the 10th anniversary pack, and for some reason that one was only 30% off. So it went from 24 to 17. But yeah, they're being kind of picky and choosy with what they're throwing out there, because they had that Deadpool end cap that they've had out there for a while. That's starting to go on clearance.
The Skittles. Well, actually, the Skittles Deadpool, Barnes & Noble have those for 50% off right now.
Nice. And
you just have to go to the back of the store and look at all those tables of books, but they're back there.
30. Is that pack?
This is not going well for us here, Justin. What are you saying?
Well, I was saying that $5, and if it's at $30,
no clue.
Well, we'll just continue, and when Justin can join in, Justin say something when you can hear something from us. It looks like Justin's having a little bit of technical issues.
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of were a little Mr. Robot right there, but yeah, one thing that Marjorie and I did find, which I thought was a pretty nice find over at Barnes & Noble, was that Deadpool 5-pack that nobody really wanted to pay $50 for or $60 for.
Yeah, that's the Skittles Deadpools.
Yeah, well, that's what we call them. It's just a Deadpool multicolored pack. I'm assuming all of them have shown up in a comic at some point or another. Justin, you're the Deadpool guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Deadpool core. I mean, they don't all look exactly the same, which is why this is disappointing. They all, there's different size people. There's skinnier people. There's a big, huge guy. So just painting Deadpool 5 different colors didn't really cut it for this pack.
Well, we were able to get it at 50% off plus 20% off of that at Barnes & Noble on Sunday.
Nice.
So that came to about $24.
That seems about right for that.
For a bunch of repaints, yeah, it's hard to support the 3 3/4 inch line when this is what they're doing with it. And yet I want to support the 3 3/4 inch line because I want them to make more 3 3/4 inch figures. I just don't want them to take old figures and make me buy the rainbow.
Yeah, it's a tough sale there. I mean, being a Deadpool guy, I picked one up early on the first time I saw it, but I'm going to wait for a deeper discount to pick up a second one. I'm thinking $15 to $20 is my second piece pickup price.
I thought 25 was not too bad.
It's not. It really isn't. But I'm waiting to kind of offset the original $65 purchase the day I saw it.
Yeah, you're trying to offset that. I bought it at Big Bad Toy Store. Thank you.
But that's the stuff that's on clearance. Marjorie, you brought up Walgreens, and last time we were together, Silver Surfer was just kind of starting to come out. Well, forget that. That's old news. Thing is already out. You've got him online. I've seen him in store. Thing is out there now.
I haven't seen him in the store. We did buy it online, but it does show that we have like 3 locations in the area that have 3 to 6 things. So I might have to go check it out. But what I'm curious about is if it's sharing a UPC in the Walgreens app or Walgreens website that's making it think that. Because we still have a lot of Sue Storms. I have all of them. Except for Thing and... Is it Mr. Fantastic that we're looking for?
I was looking for a Mr. Fantastic on deep discount just because I'd like to make a Amazing Bagman.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean... I'd ask Justin to make me a head for an Amazing Bagman.
I could certainly try, and there's a world of great customizers who sell stuff by the part on eBay that I should hook you up with. But Magic is also reportedly showing up already. Remember, I saw Magic pop up at Comic-Con, and they didn't even have her in the booth. I think it was just a slide that they showed us and hinted that it was going to be Walgreens. Well, reports that she's already showing up at Walgreens in California this week.
That's a little bit nuts that's coming out so fast. But again, Christmas sales. The thing with the Walgreens exclusives is I always freak out over them, but they're never hard to find.
Hi, did you need a Namor? Because I could go buy you 4 right now. Justin, do you need a Namor?
You're exactly right. Every single one of them is super easy to find. I think the better game to play is which one is the easiest to find.
That
I would
Punisher
argue,
and that Daredevil were both plentiful for a long time.
Daredevil up the wazoo.
But Namor, he's not exactly swimming off the shelf there.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if it's fun to hear that they're hitting and when you go out there and grab it, so you can get it early. But, in 3 to 4 months from now, we're going to be like, look at these things clogging the shelf and all these magics. But,
I don't know.
Fun.
I mean, do you think they'll ship Magic in the same number they ship the others in? Just because I feel it might be slightly more niche, although I guess the Fantastic Four is...
Fantastic Four had movies. Magic is very niche. I think that she's going to be shipped few, and I bet she's going to be maybe the harder one to find, because I bet they're not going to gamble too much on her. I mean, she's kind of an obscure character.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I get the feeling the reason they're doing it is because they saw what she was going for on the secondary market when people were picking her out of that pack, the Comic-Con pack. So this is just a chance for hardcore fans to get this, but not the original version, a new repaint of it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's harder to find out there in the wild.
So, moving on in the store report, though, you also put in here the AIM Troopers. What's up with those?
Yeah, I was getting ready to buy one online, and I was like, I heard people had seen them at GameStop, so I'll swing by GameStop, and lo and behold, there was 2 on the shelf. So I snagged one, and the other one was somebody's pre-order. So I already have the AIM pack that, I think this was supposed to be a Toys R Us exclusive before all that happened. So it's kind of just, it's out there now. I think GameStop will have it. You can order it on Entertainment Earth or any of those places. But yeah.
GameStop is getting a lot of the stuff that Toys R Us is supposed to get.
It seems like most of it, though, is going to Amazon. Like that Wolverine and Sentinel set is up on Amazon. Well, there's a listing on Amazon. It hasn't gone live yet.
Yeah, I think you can buy that, but I don't know if it's not shipping yet, for sure.
No, you can't even buy it yet.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, this is a fun pack. I haven't opened it yet. I think this one better than the Hydra, just based on what it is, but you get a lot of the same stuff as well.
I bought a case of these.
Why does that not surprise me?
But I also, have you been picking up any of the Red Skull to troop build, Justin? Because that Red Skull becomes 2 different Hydra soldiers.
I know. I've only ever seen him a couple times, and with so much 10th anniversary stuff, I have not yet started the double yet until I saw the clearance on Cap and Crossbones earlier. So I'm kind of hoping to maybe find one of those a little bit later down the line.
I found a sale on some, and I ended up picking up about 8 of them.
Wow.
Somebody's got a problem.
Yeah, the person who lost all that money when I bought 8 of them. I just couldn't resist, though. I'm kind of into troop building those figures. I don't know what that says about me.
I think we would all troop build if we had unlimited time and space and funds.
I have none of those things.
No, he doesn't.
I think we'd all troop build if we had Arnie's lack of priorities.
Oh!
I kid. We're all in this together, right?
Yeah, so the other thing I found in the stores, and which I've been hitting Meijer a lot, for some reason they're getting a lot of toys in, and they seem to have a quick turnover on their toys. Well, Arnie was kind of kicking himself because he didn't get the Mr. Negative 2-pack from the Gamerverse, the Spider-Man and Mr. Negative 2-packs, and those 2-packs they've been doing that have been hitting a lot of different stores. Our GameStop had one, it showed in stock, but they gave Arnie a song and dance and told him that he couldn't get it because it was a pre-order for somebody and they never picked it up.
They literally dangled it in front of me. They pulled it out from behind the counter to show me what they weren't going to sell me.
Ouch.
That's like making love to your ex-girlfriend in front of you.
Well, then they said, hey, if you come back the next day, the person doesn't pick it up, you can have it because their time expires today. So I go there and say, hey, my husband's here, said blah, 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 I can get this up, blah, 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 you got it. Well, it shows we have one in inventory. Okay, so they start tearing the store apart and looking all over, and the only thing they can conclude is it either was stolen off the shelf when they put it back on the shelf that morning, or somehow they got an internet order for it and had to ship it to another store or to a customer. Because they also called another store for me in St. Louis who had the same thing, and theirs was also missing. So Arnie was sad, not feeling so good about it.
It's not that I was sad. I was traveling to various cities where they said they had them in stock, and it did seem across the board.
Did you make Jerry stop at any GameStops on the way?
No, just because Jerry and I were on a tight timetable, but don't think I wasn't looking.
You're probably like, oh, there's a GameStop on that exit. There's a GameStop on that one.
I was. And our hotel was near a GameStop, but we left before it opened.
Well, I happened to be grocery shopping last Sunday morning with my friend, and we were in the toy aisle, and all of a sudden he looks up and he goes, "Hey, there's some Spider-Man figures." We looked up, and there was Mr. Negative and Spider-Man 2-pack from Gamerverse. Now, this was supposed to be a GameStop exclusive.
I took a screenshot. Only at GameStop.
Apparently, GameStop is now Meijer grocery stores now.
Interesting.
So I was able to get that as well as 2 other packs. I got the Black Widow, I got the Civil Warrior, and they had not had these before. They had this line of toys. They've really expanded their Marvel section. Their Marvel section takes up a quarter of the aisle now. It's probably the biggest one they've got.
I haven't seen any, because I don't have a Meijer around me. So the only Gamerverse figures I've ever seen has been at Target, and it's been that Iron Man Mega Man that's been sitting out for a year and a half now. But
yeah.
This kind of, makes me a little bit anxious, because with all this stuff coming out and some of it hitting only certain retailers that aren't necessarily national and stuff like that, like, these could very well come out and be sitting around in a year from now and be easy to find. Or they could just be, yep, they were at Meijer for a month and that's all they ever got distributed. I don't know how to take it right now. It's making me nervous.
I feel like you need a Xanax.
Maybe. There's just too much stuff, Marjorie. There's too much stuff.
And this isn't even a lot, Justin. We've had a lot more in the past.
Ooh, I don't know.
We had more 3 3/4 in the past, but I don't know that we've ever had more exclusives. I don't know that we've ever had more.
Oh no, I definitely think we have more exclusives, but clearly these were not exclusives. They just happen to show up at Meijer, which is a regional grocery store chain.
Well,
if anybody knows, let us know why GameStop thinks that they have an exclusive 2-pack that's showing up at Meijer's.
The only thing I can think of is, sometimes there's that first at GameStop thing that they've been doing where I was fooled into thinking something was a GameStop exclusive, like that Back in Black Deadpool.
Right.
And then it turned out it ended up peg warming at Targets and things. So maybe it was first at GameStop, but...
Well, and even when it is a GameStop exclusive, it ends up being a GameStop and Barnes & Noble exclusive.
Yeah, and they're not even owned by the same company, so that's kind of weird. I'd expect, like, Hot Topic or something, or Think Geek, because they're all the same company. But I don't know why it ends up in Barnes & Noble.
And that is certainly not the case when it comes to the Funko stuff and things. I mean, that is GameStop and GameStop only. I've never seen GameStop stuff show up at Barnes & Noble.
Very true. They seem to have that locked in, so maybe it is a Hasbro issue and not just an overall GameStop or retailer issue when it comes to these exclusives.
Well, as Marjorie alluded to, I did do a little bit of traveling. I just wanted to take a moment and basically I have you guys as a captive audience, so I'm going to share my vacation photos.
I didn't go. I stayed home. I had some stuff to do, and Arnie apparently had a really great weekend with Jerry from our Vintage Viewpoint.
Yeah, Jerry hasn't been on the show except for the roundtable calls in quite a while, but there's Jerry and me and Keystone Comic-Con doing a Sunday morning selfie.
Hey. Nice and blurry.
Yeah, these guys don't know how to focus their camera. They also had just driven like 12 hours.
I personally love that girl. But we started off in Cincinnati, where Jerry lives at Cincinnati Comic-Con. I went to see Phil
Coulson. You have been chasing him for an autograph for a long time.
Cincinnati's where you catch him.
Yeah, he was the last of the original 6 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the TV show for me to get. He was impressed that I got Ian, because I guess Ian doesn't come to the States very much.
Which is Ian, the little scientist guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the prize at the con was, strangely, Benedict Wong.
Tuna melt! Sorry, that's what I keep calling him. I'm like, is he the tuna melt guy?
It's okay. A lot of people yelled tuna melt at him.
Awesome.
I mean, you would wonder, why Benedict Wong? I'm going to say I've done a lot of conventions and a lot of autographs. I started getting autographs in 2002, so I'm 16 years into autograph collecting. I've gotten harder to get autographs, but I've never met a more fun celebrity signing autographs than Benedict Wong.
That's awesome, because I'm glad to hear that he's a cool guy, because I felt a little bad because he looked a little lonely at Comic-Con. He was up in the sales pavilion, just kind of sitting by himself the day that I saw him there.
That's right. He was there for one day. And here's the thing is he was, first of all, I forget this, but I've seen him in a bunch of movies that are not Avengers. He was in Prometheus. Remember that alien prequel disaster film?
I remember it not being as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I don't really remember anybody outside of, what's his name, Magneto, Fassbender.
He was in Kick-Ass 2.
Oh, nice.
He was in The Martian with Matt Damon.
Okay.
I mean, he has a lot of credits to his name.
Is he that guy?
Yeah.
So he's that guy. He's not got all these starring roles.
Right. I mean,
okay.
I'm not saying he's the lead. He's not the Martian in The Martian. That's Matt Damon. I'm just saying this guy's been in a lot, and I didn't realize it until he started playing Wong.
Yeah, no, I've seen all those movies you mentioned, and I couldn't have told you that he was in any of them. But you make a good point.
And he's in a new movie that the Russo brothers are directing, because as you see in this photo, he has a full head of hair. And I was like, well, what's going on? I mean, here's the fun thing he did. He came out to the audience. He never got behind his table. He would stand in front of the table. He was so full of energy, and he'd sign like 5 autographs. Then he'd jump in the middle of the crowd, spin like a top, and with his finger out and go, who has a question? Who has a question? Who has a question? And whoever asks a question, he would stop like Wheel of Fortune and point at that person, and you could ask a question. So my question was, bald cap or shaved head for Wong? Because that's a luxurious head of hair.
He must use Prel.
Prel smells so good on a woman, doesn't it?
But you're weird. I don't use Prel. Just saying. I like good shampoo.
But it turned out the answer was both. He did shave his head for Doctor Strange and for Infinity War, and the scenes did he turn to dust? We never saw if he turned to dust or not at the end of Infinity War with the snap, because he just ran back to the Sanctum Sanctorum and never was seen again. But apparently he filmed stuff for Avengers 4, but he's also filming, the Russos are directing another movie right now, and he's in it, and they wanted him to have hair. So the reshoots that they did that week for Avengers 4, they had to do a bald cap and try to match it. But yes, the Russos are doing a non-Marvel movie, I think.
They're allowed.
I think they're done.
They did Arrested Development before. Yeah. I mean, they can do other things.
But yeah, the fact that Wong just would go out in front of the crowds and just chat with people, like, he was just full of energy, very happy, took like multiple selfies when you got the selfie with them. They were yelling, no cameras, no cameras. So that's why my video is a little bit...
of people's elbows and butts?
Yes.
Man, this is a great pictorial.
But you see him spin? It on. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, look, that person has a green bag.
Thank you, Marjorie. But then we kept on going. Could you believe I did like 4 conventions in 3 weekends, Justin? I did Wizard World Chicago for one day just to get Palm Clementif's autograph.
Mantis.
Right.
And then the very next day, I went over to Indiana for a horror con where young Peter Quill, who's also in the movie It, was signing.
Wasn't that Daisy? Right. It was Horror Hound.
Horror Hound. Then I took a weekend off, but then I did Cincinnati. I road trip to Cincinnati, about 5-hour drive. And then Jerry drove us on to Philadelphia just so I could go rogue.
And wasn't it the first Keystone Comic-Con?
It wasn't the first Keystone Comic-Con. It was the first... it was the first Keystone Comic-Con.
Okay. Now, interesting, this is run by Reed Pop, who also run Star Wars Celebration and New York Comic-Con, and now Emerald City, because they purchased Emerald City. So, interesting that they've got a convention going on the East Coast, and then next year it takes place the same year as Wizard World Chicago, doesn't it?
And the same weekend, even.
Yeah, so I said the same date.
You said the same year.
Oh. Whatever.
How dare they? That's a conflict.
It's also the same year as Celebration San Diego and D23.
Okay, what you can't see.
But this was Anna Paquin's first convention. I was nervous. I wanted to buy VIP. I mean, Anna Paquin, True Blood. It was a True Blood reunion thing. But of course, she's done so much else. I knew all the piano fanatics would be out in full force. I had my X-Men shirt on. So I wanted to buy the $280 VIP that would allow me to get in the shorter line and get in a half an hour early. And Jerry wasn't sure if he was going, so I wasn't sure if I was going. We decided the Sunday before the con, yes, let's do it. I look, VIP tickets still available. I'm like, I'll get one tomorrow. My wallet's upstairs. Next day, VIP tickets sold out.
Oh.
I know. I was bummed. I'm like, God, I'm going to have to wait in line all day. I got the $40 ticket that got me in just Sunday.
Well, let me tell you how worried we were about lines, because, lines at conventions can be bad. There's been horror stories about waiting in line.
Lines everywhere. There's lines.
Okay. And he was having to fly home from Philadelphia because there's no way you can make a 13-hour drive after you're in line all day. I mean, that's just nuts. He'd have to do it in 2 days. So I booked him an 8:30 flight out of Philadelphia. So he called me, like, what time did you...
Well, let me...
Okay.
So I get there. This was 5 minutes before Anna Paquin was to come out and sign. Where is the line? I'm like dumbfounded. Where did they all go? There was nobody at this convention. I mean, very few people in line for Anna Paquin. Lots of pops. Can I just tell dealers, no more walls of pops?
Yeah.
Just stop. I walked past so many booths with pops, and I don't know what else they sell. If all I see are pops, my eyes glaze over, because the ones I want, you either are overcharging for or you don't have. And I'm not going to spend my time looking through these thousands of pops to try to find the one I want and then say, no, I'm not paying you that much for it.
Yeah, just cut the middleman and say, I'm not even going to look.
I barely have the patience to do it with the small selection at Target.
I'll agree. When I go to Walmart, I'll skim it. It's like there's just too many pops. So
the convention was so slow that they sent volunteers home early. They canceled volunteer shifts for people.
They didn't just cancel the volunteer shifts. They also told the volunteers, and you're not getting your free tickets, and you're not getting your free photo ops and autographs that you were getting for being a volunteer.
Ouch.
I talked to so many vendors at the show that were complaining so much about how they lost tons of money and there were unexpected expenses when they got there. And like so many of the vendors I know from having covered cons for so many years, and many told me anonymously that there's no way in hell they're going back ever to this convention.
Wow, that's...
I mean, look at you see the Spider-Man on the left? I took a picture of him because he's in the Gamerverse outfit, and I thought that was a little cool. But the line behind him, to the right of the blue line, are the suckers who bought the VIP tickets. This is 2 minutes before the convention opens. To the left are the non-VIPs that included me.
So are you suggesting that VIP didn't sell out and instead they just pulled it down?
No, I'm thinking it sold out, and the people who bought it got on the floor all of 2 minutes before the people who didn't.
You think it's just con overload? Are there too many cons now?
Well, I think this one that they didn't do a lot of marketing for, we only found out about it. And, and I'd like to think that we see a lot of stuff about conventions. We go to a lot of conventions. We didn't see anything about this convention, didn't see any online buzz,